what I really want to get is down here first, okay? I'm going to have two, I'll say this again later so you can put it in your notes. You're going to have at least two anchors above the knee, and you have to be really careful with your anchors that you do not put it too tight because they get this hourglass look around the knee. You can either cover the knee completely or leave it open completely, not halfway, okay? So we're going to start, I like to start here. I like to get the bottom early. Okay. And then I like to anchor. And now I want to come down and get the other side. Okay, so I already have two on the bottom, and I've done it early, and that's what I like. Okay, now I'm going to just figure of 8. Okay, so as I look at the bottom, the problem is I have a little hole here. So I need to cover that with the next one. So when you start the next, first of all, I should have said this. Took it in there for a second so I can let go. Okay, so when I ace, I like to hold it this way, not this way. I think you get better control. Can you not do it this way? But you can, but you get much better control of the ace and the stretching. Okay, so this is a better way to do it, I think. Okay, and when I put the second one on, I start it at right angles to the first. So that's how I stabilize the first, by right angles for the second. Try not to end it in the back if you can avoid it. There's a little wrinkle there. And you know what? Your patient can certainly help you hold this. You know, there's nothing wrong. Nothing says the patient can't do that. Now I want to get the bottom. I need another anchor. I especially I've seen people not anchor above the knee. But early on, I especially like that because it really doesn't stay up as well as it should if you don't anchor. It tends to slide down. I like to leave the knee open, but you don't have to. If you cover the knee, you may need an additional bandage. Okay. And now I can tape it. I would tape this to here. Sometimes if you have somebody who has a very narrow, bony residual limb, I've seen people tape this way and that way, okay? If you leave it open, it tends to stay on a little better because when you bend the knee, if it's covered, it tends to kind of take it with you. Now, you have to know how you wrap. I tend to wrap really tightly, so if I'm using very new ACE bandaging, I have to kind of just have to relax a little bit. So just get a sense of how you're wrapping. If your patient tells you after you've wrapped it, it feels really tight, it's probably too tight. Okay? It does tend to feel a little tighter as you go along, but if it's feeling that way right off the bat, you probably made it too tight. But get to know yourselves and how you wrap. Questions?